friends in the whole world, and I can't wait to see Eve's face when we tell her the news. I blocked out the faces when I emailed the photo to TC. But the original? It's still intact, as are all the other photos of you and Julian doing the nasty. I suggest you reconsider my offer, Eve. I'm sure you're going to make the right decision for you and TC and the girls. What am I going to do? I'm lost.
You know, Eve must be home. Her car's still in the driveway.
What if there's something wrong? Oh, it won't be long now, Sam. Soon I'll be in your arms. Well, it's not your most becoming photograph, Eve. Still, anyone can tell it's you when the faces aren't blocked out. No, there's no way you're going to be able to go to TC and confess your sordid affair with Julian. There's only one thing left for you to do. And that's to help me get the only man I've ever loved. Sam Bennett. Julian.
All right, look. If you see anyone at all, who is not a guest or an employee of this hotel, even near Miss Crane's room, you call your superiors at the police station. You haven't sent backup immediately. Now, Miss Crane is not to leave her suite, nor is this post to go unattended, even for a second. Am I understood?
I know how to do my job, monsieur.
Yes, this is Miss Crane. Would you please send someone up for the room service card? Thank you.
Who's that on the phone?
God, you're nosy.
Now, you're damn right I am when your life's at stake.
You know what? I would be flattered, except I know that it's not personal. You're just such a control freak that you can't stand the fact that you don't get to monitor my every breath.
Well, you could make me breathe a lot easier if you would just change your mind and come back.
For the last time, Luis, I am not going back to Harmony.
All right, would you just give it a break with the I am woman routine and listen to what I'm saying? No, I am not trying to run your life. I'm trying to save it.
Well, I would think you would be tired of that by now. You know, why don't you just go home and find some other damsel in distress to rescue? I'm sure there are one or two of them flailing around in Harmony.
All right, damn it, Sheridan, would you just shut up? This isn't about the battle of the sexes. This isn't even about you and me. This is about two hitmen who are out there on the loose, who are not going to give up until they silence you for good.
Even if my wine at the bistro was poison.
It was, Sheridan. Now, what is it going to take to make you realize that these guys mean business? Do you need another gun pointed at your head again? You're the only person who can pin them to the two murders and to the drug ring. All right. If you're not going to listen to me, then figure it out for yourself.
All right. I admit that my life is in danger.
Oh, well, hallelujah.
And that's why I'm going to be extra careful until those men are caught. But I'm staying right here in Paris. I'm not running away. I'm finished with that.
All right. Pride is a good thing, but not when it blinds you to what is right.
I'll be the judge of what's right for me. So you can just stop worrying and go home. I mean, for crying out loud, I have police bodyguards watching outside my door. I'm going to be just fine.
This American cop is very persistent. He's just trying to convince Mademoiselle Crane to go back to the States with him.
Has he changed her mind?
No, not yet. She says she's not afraid for her life.
I admire her spirit. Unfortunately, it will cost her her life.
Oh, Pilar. Thank God, for a minute I thought it was Julian. Perhaps it would have been a blessing if Mr. Crane were the one who heard you. Don't even think that, Pilar. Although my overconfident husband has no reason to believe he has to eavesdrop on me. No. He's far too busy congratulating himself on besting me over these photographs of him and Eve.
If you continue to behave so recklessly, he's bound to discover the truth. I should think that you would be more careful.
You're right. I was so caught up in my daydream that I didn't even realize I was speaking out loud.
Only daydreams would content you, Mrs. Crane.
Stop fussing at me, Pilar. Especially when I'm this close to being with Sam again.
I do not want to hear it.
Well, too bad. You work for me, and I want someone to talk to. So stay.
What happened when you went to the Russells' house?
You mean before or after T.C. went on his verbal tirade about the tramp that was on the photo in his computer?
Oh, God. I prayed that somehow you would come to your senses and stop this madness before it was too late.
Did you?
It's a terrible thing to break up a marriage, Mrs. Crane.
Well, as of this moment, I haven't broken up any marriage, nor do I intend to. As I have said many times, Sam can keep his casserole queen, and I will somehow find the stomach to uphold my wedding vows to Julian. I can do anything as long as I can see Sam from time to time, as long as I have his love to keep me going.
What about the Russells' marriage? I thought you said T.C. saw the photograph of Eve with Mr. Crane.
Oh, he did. Eve saw it, too. But he didn't know who he was looking at. Before I scanned the photo into the computer, I blocked out the faces.
But I thought you wanted him to see the photograph of Eve with Mr. Crane. Why did you make them unrecognizable?
Because I get more mileage out of the photograph this way. Oh, and I thought I could just scare Eve into helping me.
Did it work?
Well, she was trembling like a leaf before she realized that T.C. didn't know who he was looking at.
Then I take it she's agreed to help you get Sam Bennett.
No, not yet. But when Eve finally absorbs the full ramifications of what the truth will do to her family, she'll come around. You know I'm right, Pilar.
If I don't help Ivy to get Sam, I'll lose my family. It's blackmail. Just pure and simple blackmail.
Eve? Are you all right?
Sam, Grace, I didn't see you come in.
Yeah, I know. We knocked and called. Where were you?
Right here.
We know that. But you were a million miles away.
Eve, you're shaking. What's going on? What were you looking at on the computer?
Oh, nothing.
Hey, it's us. We already know it's about blackmail.
Who told you? I didn't want anybody to know.
Sheridan Crane is not going to be pushed around by any man anymore. Not by my father, not by my brother, not by my string of lousy boyfriends. Not any man. That's it. I'm through. I'm drawing the line in the sand. You know, I'm going to stick this out until those creeps are thrown in jail for life on my testimony. Don't you have a plane to catch?
Damn it.
It won't be long now. Mademoiselle Crane has won the argument with the American hero. He's leaving, and she will stay.
Ironic, no? She wins the battle, but loses her life.
Who told you?
Eve, sweetheart, nobody told us anything. You were just saying something about blackmail when we walked in.
Is that all you heard?
Yes. But I'd like to hear more. Is someone you know being threatened?
It's a patient of mine. She broke down and confided in me.
Well, tell me her name.
I can't do that, Sam.
Eve, you have to if you want to help her. I mean, blackmail is one of the cruelest, most cowardly crimes I've ever come across. And if this perpetrator isn't stopped, He will chip away at his victim for years. I've seen it happen. It's a slow, torturous death. And in a way, it's more cold-blooded than murder.
If I told you the whole story, would you keep it in confidence? Of course. What about you, Sam?
It's different with me, Eve. You know that. I'm a cop. Of course I would try to keep any information that you give me confidential, but I couldn't guarantee it. Everything that passes through the court becomes a matter of public record. Eve.
It would kill my patient to have the facts of the case come out.
Even if it's the only way you can help her? Eve, if this blackmailer isn't caught, your patient will wind up giving in to whatever he demands. You may think that you're doing her a favor by not telling me, but you're not.
I have to do what I have to do, Sam. I don't tell you how to do your job. Please don't tell me how to do mine.
Eve, calm down. I'm sure that Sam didn't mean to step on your toes.
No, I didn't, but I guess from where I sit, I see things differently.
I'm sorry I snapped at you, Sam. It's just that my patient has so much to lose. Her family, her friends, everything.
Terrible. And the blackmailer must really have something awful over her.
Worse than you can imagine.
All I can tell you is these people don't go away. Once you give in to them once, they're going to come back again and again.
My patient doesn't have any choice.
Maybe I should make some tea. I think we could all use a cup.
Eve, I'm glad we're alone.
I don't want to talk about this anymore.
Look, I don't want to talk about the blackmail situation. I want to talk about Ivy. Flight's on time. Still room on the plane if you want to come.
You just don't give up, do you?
Not without a fight.
Well, you gave it your best shot, but I'm staying.
It's your life.
That's it? I thought you had at least a few more rounds left in you.
No. I know a lost cause when I see one. Good luck.
Well, I'm glad you can finally see how important it is for me to make my own decisions. I guess this is it, then.
Yeah, I guess so. Well, thanks for the tour. I see now why they call Paris the city of love. Maybe someday when I meet the right woman, I can bring her back here.
Just think about how much more relaxing it'll be without any hitmen following you.
Not as exciting, though.
No, not as exciting.
If you let anything happen to her, I will be back here so fast, you won't know what hit you. Good news. I haven't heard from Ivy in a few days. I think she finally came to her senses and realized I'm not going to have an affair with her.
I don't know, Sam.
No, look, I do. And I owe it all to you for being so strong and forceful with her. I mean, she wouldn't listen to me, but when you told her there was no way she was going to win in that twisted game of hers, I think she finally took it to heart. And now, I think it might be best if I don't tell Grace about my past with Ivy. I mean, it would crush her.
You may be right.
Yeah, you know, it's so strange. You think something's long forgotten, and then it comes back to haunt the present, threaten your marriage.
Someone told me once the past never disappears. It's always walking along behind you like a shadow. And you can refuse to look back and see it, but it's always there.
But you're lucky. I mean, you have no reason not to look back in your life.
Did Sam tell you our good news?
Well, I was waiting for you to come back. My amazing wife and I are going to get married.
Excuse me? Again. I mean, I know we just renewed our vows in church this Christmas, but Sam and I want to have the wedding that we never had. I mean, a real wedding. Because, you know, when we were in Boston, we had 2 strangers for witnesses. I just recovered from the fire, and you know, Sam didn't really know anybody.
So, we're going to do it right this time. In a town that we call home, surrounded by the people we love.
That is so wonderful. It's so romantic.
And would you believe that Sam thought of it all by himself?
I'm not a bit surprised. I know how much he loves you. So when's the big day?
Oh, you know, we haven't even thought of that yet. But you know what? I want to get one thing settled right here. Will you be my matron of honor?
Me? Are you sure?
Well, of course. I mean, you are my all-time most amazing, wonderful best friend. Oh, seriously. I mean, aside from Sam, you are the one person that I love and depend upon more than anyone else in this world. And that's why Sam and I made you and TC the guardians of the kids if anything ever happened to us.
TC and I made the same provision in our will.
Well then, it's settled.
And as you can see, my wife is not going to take no for an answer.
I love you, Grace.
I love you too. If Eve does as I ask, then TC and the girls never have to know about her affair with Julian. Life can go on as usual with the Russells.
And you honestly believe that Sam will agree to a quiet affair with you while he stays married to Grace?
Yes. Why wouldn't he?
Because he is Sam Bennett, one of the most decent, loving, morally upstanding men on this earth. A man who would never cheat on his wife, no matter what temptation you throw at him.
Well, we'll see about that.
What about your life and your marriage? You have a lot to lose if it ever comes out that you haven't loved Mr. Crane since the day of your wedding. That instead you've loved a man who became a cop.
Oh, one night with Sam would make up for all those hideous years I have spent married to Julian. Don't you understand that, Pilar?
I do understand that you do not realize how dangerous it is to push Dr. Russell up against the wall with no means of escape.
Eve has a way out. All she has to do is help me.
Yes, and stab her best friend in the back in the process. That is not a way out. You have given her an ultimatum that will lead to your own destruction.
The American has finally taken his leave. The girl is all ours.
Then why are you wasting time on the telephone with me? Kill her now!
I should hate Luis. But all I wanted to do was throw myself in his arms and tell him to stay. Only I could declare my newfound independence in the city of love. One place that nobody should be alone. God, it just makes me so crazy sometimes. I don't know what I'm doing or saying. His plane ticket.
Mademoiselle, where do you think you are going?
I have to catch Luis. He left his plane ticket.
She must not leave. Shoot her right now!
Not so fast, mademoiselle.
Look, come with me if you want, but I've got to get to the airport.
I cannot permit you to do that, mademoiselle.
You can't stop me. I don't take orders from you.
I'm afraid you must, mademoiselle. Go back to your suite or I will call the gendarmerie, and they will send more men.
I don't believe this. Might as well be in jail.
Hello?
Oui, slight interruption. I know what to do.
then see that you do it this time. And no eyewitnesses. I want this over with once and for all.
Do not worry, she's as good as dead.
May I help you, monsieur?
What do you want?
The guest called for me to come and pick up my carte. Au service, mademoiselle.
Leave it open. I must check the door to the balcony. Take your time, Mademoiselle Crane. The last time you went home.
Oh, you goose. You're crying because I asked you to be my matron of honor. We're both such saps. I'm sure I'd do the same thing. You mean so much to me, Eve. I don't know what I'd do without you.
Well, has it ever occurred to my presumptuous wife that maybe her best friend's crying for another reason?
Like what?
Like maybe she's scared to death that you're going to throw her in one of those god-awful maid of honor dresses.
Don't you listen to a word he says. You can wear whatever you want. Just don't upstage me with your sense of style.
I don't think you have to worry about it, Grace.
Hey, come to think of it, maybe I could borrow that pearl necklace that TC gave you for your anniversary?
Uh-huh. I sense I'm about to be broadsided by a not-so-subtle hint.
Of course you can borrow my pearls for your second wedding. You can borrow anything of mine that you want.
All this talk has just reminded me of something. We have an APB out on a jewel thief who's responsible for a number of break-ins in Clayton.
You think he's headed for Harmony?
Possibly. He's considered armed and dangerous, and he's already killed 2 of his victims.
Oh, gosh. Thank goodness I don't have anything that he really want to steal. But, Eve, you've got a lot of really nice things. You should be careful.
I'll tell TC. Maybe we'll put my jewelry in the safe deposit box.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Hey, what about Ivy?
What about her?
Well, she's practically dripping in diamonds. She'd be a prime target.
Yeah. Yeah, you're right.
Maybe you should go over there and warn her.
You know what? Actually, I really don't have enough time, but you know what? I'll call somebody at the station and have them call over there and warn her.
Okay. She's been such a good friend these last couple months. I'd hate to see anything happen to her. Have either of you seen her lately?
Not me.
I wonder what she's been up to. If you're trying to scare me, Pilar, it won't work. The only thing that Eve can do to me is tell Julian I've made a fool out of myself for running after Sam.
That doesn't frighten you?
No. After all of Julian's tacky affairs with even tackier women, he'll probably just laugh at me for my failed attempt with Sam. Oh, and Alistair, well, he would never allow Julian to end our marriage. Imagine what that would do to the stock prices of Crane Industries.
Then what about Ethan? What do you think he will think of your pursuit of Sam Bennett?
He might be a bit disconcerted at first. But since he's been home, he realized that my marriage to Julian is not what he thought. He knows I've put up with a lot. I don't think he's going to blame me a bit.
That's not what I meant. And you know it. What if Ethan starts asking questions about your past?
No, Pilar. That fear is not going to work. That fear has kept me from happiness far too long. No one knows, not Sam, not anyone else knows what my wedding night brought me. You and I are the only 2 people who know.
So far.
You promised me you would never tell anyone.
You're hurting me, Mrs. Crane.
I'm sorry, but you know what that secret means to me.
I gave you my word long ago. I will never tell a soul, not as long as I live.
Well, there it is then. There's nothing Eve can do to me. Nothing.
I think you are underestimating Dr. Russell. Desperate people do desperate things.
Mademoiselle, where are you? She cannot have vanished into thin air. Damn, she must have gotten into the room service cart.
Hello.
Yeah, it is I.
And the job must finally be done.
No, not exactly. Mademoiselle got away. She must be at the airport with her French plane ticket. I will go after her.
No, I will go. I see that if I want her dead, I will have to do it myself.
Monsieur, I'm sorry, but I cannot let you board the plane without your ticket.
Well, I must have just dropped it or something.
Luis!
What are you doing here? Where's your bodyguard?
I had to give him the slip. He wouldn't let me come
Oh,
so
for
long.
crying out loud. Are you crazy?
Well, apparently so, if that's the thanks I get for coming all the way down here to bring your damn ticket.
Oh. Jeez.
You know, don't worry, I'm not sticking around. I have a cab waiting for me outside to take me back to the...
No. Look. I'm sorry I bit your head off. Thanks for bringing this for me.
You're welcome. But I'm only accepting your apology because I don't want us party with bad feelings. You know, bad karma.
Right. Bad karma. Hey, I'll walk you to your cab.
No, that's not necessary.
Oh.
Luis?
Yeah?
There's something else.
What? You changed your mind? You decided to come with me, right?
I know how busy you are during your few hours off from the hospital.
Well, thanks for coming by, and congratulations again on your great news.
Well, we'll let you know when we figure out a date.
And if you change your mind about that blackmail situation, you know where to find me. I know I said I wouldn't give you a hard time about it, and I won't. But at least tell your patient what I said.
It's not going to make any difference. Her mind's made up. She can't take a chance that any of it would become public.
Well, I'm disappointed, but I can't say I don't understand. I mean, I've seen in other blackmail cases when people panic and give in. The problem is, once they do, the blackmail never ends. I mean, you hand over everything you have and they still come back for more. And it gets harder and harder to go to the police until eventually they own your soul.
What do you mean?
Well, I've seen in some cases where blackmailers will get their victim to do almost anything, even hurt the people they love.
How does anyone ever get out of it?
Well, sad to say, but a lot don't. I've seen victims so desperate that they resort to murder. It's the only way they can think to get away from the blackmail.
I can't believe that anybody would really let it go that far.
I can. Oh, enough about that. I'm really glad you guys came by.
Thanks, Steve. And don't forget to tell TC about the jewel thief.
Yeah.
See you.
How could I ever betray my best friend? do this to me. I won't. You, Ivy Crane, for making me do this.
I am sorry for you, Mrs. Crane, because you are headed down a path that is certain to bring disaster upon 3 families.
So you think that Eve is going to help me, don't you?
I pray she can summon the courage to come up with another solution, one that will stop you from causing so much grief.
Frankly, I can't think of one. And as long as I'm alive, Eve has a problem. And I don't plan on dying anytime soon.
Look, there's no way I'm getting on that plane with you to go back to Harmony. I'm staying right here.
I'm not going to fight you. I thought maybe you changed your mind. And
If anybody had a shot at it, it'd be you.
Thanks. I think.
No, I mean it. You've done so much for me. You came all the way to Paris to warn me that my life might be in danger, and you were right. I would be dead right now if it weren't for you. I owe you everything. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Final boarding for flight 106 departing from gate C. All passengers for flight 106, please report to gate C.
Well, I better go. Hope the next time I see you, you remember this moment.
Yeah.
Perhaps there is one man in Miss Crane's life who's not using her. How tragic that she will never know.
How many years before I get to retire?
Oh, I'm afraid a few too many to be fantasizing about it already.
Darn, I could really get used to days like this.
Me too. You know, I'm so lucky, Sam. Got everything I've ever dreamed of. Perfect husband, wonderful children, and best friends. You think Eve's okay?
Why?
Well, you know, she seems so upset about that patient of hers. Then I guess that's why I love her so much, is because she always cares about somebody so much. You know, you'd almost think that she was the one being blackmailed.
Yeah, except someone would have to dig long and hard to find a speck on her resume.
Yeah, they'd still come up empty. You know, Eve hates it when I say this, but she is about the most perfect person that I know.
Okay, you can have whatever you want to take my jewels.
I want the pictures of me and Julian.
Oh, for crying out loud, Eve. Oh, put that thing away. It looks real.
It is real, and it's loaded.
Please, you don't expect me to believe that, do you?
You'd better. I don't know why you're so surprised, Ivy. I've worked very hard to put the first half of my life behind me. To make something out of myself that my husband and my daughters could be proud of. Now you're threatening all of that.
Please, Don't be so melodramatic.
My family means everything to me, Ivy. Everything. And now you want to take that all away.
Not at all. In fact, I want just the opposite. Now, why don't you just put the gun down and we can talk about how we can make this whole thing work for both?
No. I am not going to let you blackmail me into hurting my best friend. I am in the driver's seat now, Ivy, not you. And give me those pictures.
Or you'll what? Shoot me if I don't hand them over?
Yes. Yes, I'll kill you. If I have to.
Please. You are Eve Russell, sainted doctor of harmony. The saver of life, not the taker. Your bluff won't work. I'm keeping the photos.
If that's your final answer, it's a bad one. It's true. People know me as Eve Russell, respected doctor. But you, more than anyone else, know that's not who I always was. I've worked long and hard to bury the woman that I used to be. But she still exists there, somewhere deep inside me, and she will do whatever she has to do to survive. If I were you, I'd consider a lifeline right about now, Ivy. But that's your choice.
What was I going to do? I couldn't very well go back to Harmony with Louise. I'm starting my life over in the most beautiful city in the world. Someday Louise will see that I was right.